G'day, g'day, welcome back to DC Action. My name is Chris. Today we're going to be diving back into My Adventures with Superman, Season 3, with Episode 4, titled Guess Who's Slamming to Dinner, where we meet Superboy for the first time and discuss his secret origin. Without further ado, let's get right into it. This episode opens with Clark showing up to Lois's apartment with some flowers, but he's met with a frantic Lois after she is overwhelmed by Kara and her constant questions after agreeing to help her out in last week's episode. To get away a bit, her and Clark go on a date to a restaurant called Pound Cake. While walking there, Jimmy calls with a question about his latest date. That sounds like it's going just as well as his date from last episode. Eventually, Clark and Lois get to their date, but encounter a bit of a surprise in the form of their son from the future.
You and me, we can handle anything the future throws at us.
Hi, Mom! Hi, Dad!
This here is an adaptation of Jon Kent from the comics, who, as you could guess from the name, is the biological son of Lois and Clark. At about 10 years old, he begins fighting crime as Superboy. Until 12 years old, some weird time travel logic comes in to play and he returns to his family as a 17-year-old, missing 5 years of his life with them. Jon introduces himself here to his parents. While Jon tries to connect with his younger parents, he moves much too fast for them to comprehend, as his reveal comes as a massive shock to them. We learn later on that this is actually his first time meeting his parents, as in the future they are both dead, so this is probably just as exciting for him as it is for Lois and Clark. Jimmy somehow finds his way to the restaurant covered in spikes as a result from his date. Kara also shows up asking for help as her dating app crashes from getting way too many matches. Jon introduces himself to the both of them, and they have very different reactions, but they are both excited overall.
You are an uncle? You're from the future?
Jimmy is happy that his best friends have a child, and is pleased to know that he will still be in their life in the future, after he is called Uncle Jimmy. Kara is just happy that the Kryptonian bloodline continues. Lois has enough and snaps, so they take their leave from the restaurant and take Jimmy to Star Labs, where he gets his quills removed. Jon causes a bit of a scene, so they take him outside, where Lois struggles to deal with the fact that she's a mum. But she does face some undeniable evidence of his parentage.
Don't you need more evidence?
Not really?
No.
Kara offers to spend time with Jon, as Lois gets called into work, or at least she fakes that. At first she suggests they train, grapple, or spar, which is something that she would have done throughout her childhood. But ultimately, she decides upon the one normal activity that she has done since coming to Earth, and probably in her entire life, that being shopping. We go back to the mall for the second time in as many episodes, with the 5 of them there this time. Jon tries on some clothes. Among them is a vest that looks similar to the one Connor Kent wears in the comics, being a slight nod to this version of Superboy. We get a montage similar to the one from last episode, this time without the song and dance. Eventually they are interrupted as the ground begins to shake, endangering a mum and her small child. Luckily Jon sees it and saves them, taking after his father in the hero department. Lois asks the question on everyone's mind: why is he here? Meanwhile at LexCorp, Hank gives Lex a seemingly fake apology for trying to attack him last episode. For now Lex seems to buy it, but Deathstroke doesn't. And rightly so, because through the wall, Henshaw eyes Luthor's device that he used to attack him, planning his eventual betrayal that we will see towards the end of the episode. Lois tries to fake being called into work once again, but unfortunately for her, everyone follows her. While Clark, Jimmy, and Kara try taking a photo for her dating profile, Lois and Jon get to talk one-on-one. Here she airs out her grievances, telling her son that she is genuinely happy to see him and meet him, but she is just uneasy about the prospect that her future is seemingly set in stone. Lois tries asking him why he is in the present, but upon hearing a commotion across the city, Clark and Jon go to investigate. They get to the scene of the disturbance to find a bunch of dinosaurs boring their way out from underground, being the cause of the tremors from earlier. Jon identifies them as the Subtyrannosauri, seeming to be familiar with them in the future. In fact, he says that they are allies where they come from. Jon tries talking them down, but it doesn't go exactly how he planned. Meanwhile, Henshaw attacks Lex, destroying the only device capable of harming him. Hank reveals why he is angry, that being because Lex turned him into a cyborg. Smartly, Lex shifts the blame onto Superman, saying that without him, none of this would have happened, offering to even help Henshaw to take him down. But Henshaw has other ideas. Superman and Superboy work on defusing the scene, with Superman teaching his son a thing or two about looking out for innocents, while he himself works on fighting the dinosaurs. Just when they think they have dealt with all their adversaries, their leader emerges. This one actually capable of speaking English. He identifies himself as Tyranko, the prince of Sub-Tyrannosauri. Just before a fight between them ensues, Jon tries talking once again, this time being successful, on account of Tyranko actually understanding English, unlike the others. Tyranko and presumably the mayor of Metropolis shake hands, signifying a peace treaty between the two species. Jon realizes that all along, he was actually the one who broken the peace deal with him, indicating a potential closed time loop logic that is being used in this series. But we will have to wait for more information to actually confirm that. Superman congratulates his son on a job well done, saying that this is why they fight for a better tomorrow, mimicking his comic book catchphrase, that being truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. Clark takes Jon to his parents' farm, where Kara rides on a horse, a reference to her horse Comet in the comics. Well, I say horse kinda loosely, as it was actually a centaur that got magically transformed into a horse, but that's kind of besides the point. Jon tries to help Lois write up a story, and they get to talking again, where Jon lets slip a little detail about the future, which we will pick up on in just a second. Kara calls Clark inside, where on the news they see Henshaw attacking Metropolis, fully embracing himself as Cyborg Superman. He calls out Superman on TV, and Clark and Kara rush over to confront him. We, however, stay behind in the Kent's house, where Jon reveals to Lois that in the future he comes from, both Clark and Lois are dead, and he came back in time to save them from their killer, that being Cyborg Superman. And that there is the end of this episode. This one does a lot of work setting up the rest of the season going forward, painting Henshaw, or Cyborg Superman, as I will now be calling him, as a deadly adversary, intertwining that with a time travel story, similar to that of Days of Future Past. Overall, I really liked this one. We got a lot of insight into who Jon is, but we didn't get to explore Kara and Jimmy's relationship too much, but I suppose you can't do everything in a 23-minute episode. Anyway, that is it for this video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing so YouTube knows to recommend you more videos just like this one. But until next time, this has been Chris, and I'll be seeing you.